earlier against G2. Let's see if he can pick it back up and get back to, you know, this kind of thing right here. The old shift, the flick, but it's too high. Sent away by First Killer, but he'll take that shot and will get the goal. And NRG will score first.
And you spoke it into existence, Jorby. I mean, Justin, he's been very grounded, I've noticed. You know, a lot of times we'll see him completely air dribbling through all the defense, really trying to take it. I really like the ground play I've been seeing from him.
Now, Turinturo does a nice job on the backboard, taking away Justin's potential shot.
Oh, what a
and the
fake
miss from Justin. Kronovi makes him look silly, and that doesn't happen too often. Kronovi with the first goal for Rogue.
And I gotta see this again. I don't even, do you classify that as a fake? Because I think Justin, he should have at least gotten a piece of that enough so that they can get in front of that shot, stop any of the open nets to be presented to NRG. But there's one right there as it slips past and First Killer with the save. What was that? But Turbo's gonna clean it up anyway. That was insane.
NRG finally cracked through this, and First Killer, he does everything possible to make that save. And then Turinturo, he tried to bite on that read, tried to find where Turbo was going to shoot it, was expecting maybe something closer to him. He couldn't really go for much more. And NRG, they cracked through. And despite what it looked like for the majority of that series, which was broken.
And it's one of those things where you don't really have to change much. You know, just keep creating these opportunities and those goals will come. Eventually, once you get warmed up with the shots, and that's how it's done. First Killer falls onto Justin, takes out the goalkeeper, and then Turo's there for the easy cleanup.
Now, Justin, he tried to get up to that ball, but First Killer's last touch,
they just carried into their play style, and I love to see it because now they're playing to their advantage. They know they have the mechanics of First Killer and Turo, while Kronovi's there to do some great passing and fill in on the defense.
Oh, and Garrett G will score off of Turbo's pass on the backboard. NRG, huge there. Turinturo, no chance for him. First Killer had ended up cutting. First Killer finding Turinturo, finding Kronovi, but Garrett G finding the save. We're seeing more of this again. Dominating the walls, and First Killer dominating the corners of the net. Kronovi to first equals a lead.
I talked about it, off the wall. They are so good at setting their own players up, but look at the accuracy of where...
More time off the clock. Oh, and Turbo trying to get up for a hard pass, ends up backflipping. Kronovi booms it downfield. There's the
double.
Shot. Double tap. First Killer will buy insurance with no time left against NRG.
What more is there to say? If you weren't convinced about First Killer last series, he's proven it to you now that he is a top-tier player when it comes to striking, mechanics, and overall offense. This man is turning into a monster of a prodigy, and he does it so well with a double tap there. I mean, how does he do this so consistently and create space, and it drops down? Rogue get the equalizer in the series. Now we're up 1-1, Jorby.
1-1. We're gonna go back and forth this whole series. I feel like that's just Rogue's story. But First Killer getting 2 goals. Garrett and Turbo stealing the boost out will keep the ball locked in front of the box. Kronovi, he just ended up sliding on top of Turbo's car, and Rogue just getting locked, and it was only a matter of time for Turbo swinging left, swinging right, and then swinging for the fences.
Came down to a 50, and look at Turbo's positioning. You know, he might not have planned to put that one directly on net, but it's a slip up on the side of Rogue. We're not seeing any real punishing goals from NRG. All the goals they've gotten, they've really had to work for. You know, maybe besides that 50, but Justin lands on it, and then they get mixed up. I thought this was gonna be a horrific mistake, but it worked out.
It's a different type of dribbling.
What?
We're playing basketball.
What is that?
That was amazing. That's what you love seeing. Players like Justin and Garrett. Turbo almost putting another in here. Garrett. Shot. And it's off the crossbar and in. And NRG, despite some early pressure from Rogue in this game, it's all for naught. It switched. And Garrett picks up the third.
And a big part of this came down to First Killer not having boost. I'm honest.
Close game. And then they would get destroyed in the next. And then they'd win the next one. And then they'd get destroyed in the next. And dominated in a couple aspects, especially on offense. So this is just par for the course from Rogue. I expect they'll get back to form in the next game.
I mean, ideally so. I definitely think it's been a little bit slower pace for Rogue, and NRG have kind of figured them out on their offense. I think they're denying a lot of it when it comes to the walls. They're really getting in front of a lot of those opportunities. I mean, last game when we watched the highlight reel after that game had finished up, you could see that Rogue, all their goals started off on the wall, but NRG have been dominant with the challenges. They take this game and take the lead in the series with a very convincing win.
Yeah, I mean, they know how Rogue like to carry the ball down the field, right? It's we've talked about it, those air dribbles. It's potential transition play, shot from first killer wide. Justin will take the pass from Turbo on defense. Kronovi just wants to keep the press going, and first killer will muscle his way through for the first goal.
And this was just amazing passing so far for Kronovi. And look at the read off the corner. That dunk to get it out to first killer.
Right territory. Justin pops it up high, but Garrett immediately back down to the ground. It's Kronovi, first killer
nice
to
pass.
Turo. Beautiful progression down the pitch. Pretty textbook for Rogue.
And we've been seeing this all game long so far. It's those clears that start out where you can find your man. And first killer, I love the fact that he went down and then went back up the wall.
Turo on the flip reset, found first killer, low off the backboard, and Kronovi will be back to receive the clear from NRG. Actually, Justin will find Garrett. Garrett will find the net, and NRG are back in it. They cut the lead in half.
All the way through the corners, Kronovi, he wanted a bounce that was going to go straight into the air. Instead, he decides to go take the boost because the bounce didn't go his way, assuming some on defense. And now an open net almost as first killer has to run back.
And first killer making another great save. We've seen him make a couple of great saves, but we also see Justin putting it in the back of their net, and NRG have officially tied the game.
Yeah, all himself. I actually thought that was a touch there from Garrett G in the sky, but it really didn't even.
It looked like it's up. There's no one up. Both first killer and Turo will meet in the air. That might be dangerous as the ball comes out for Turbo. Back to Garrett.
Oh my.
Justin! I said Garrett, I was wrong. It's Justin for another. NRG have the lead.
I cannot believe that pass from Turbo. That little finesse touch out into the middle. I was
in game number 4. Are they going to put themselves on match point for a rematch with G2 in the grand finals? They're one game away from doing it.
That's it. One single game, which is surprising. I mean, I thought Rogue, really, they had all the momentum. I really thought they were going to come out here, and don't get me wrong, they played fantastic, but NRG at this point, with
Kronovi, finally a little bit of space. Garrett pops it up to Justin, who just wins. Big challenge in midfield for NRG.
Oh, that's it.
A good touch. Justin punishes, puts him in the ground. NRG a late lead.
Waiting for a slip-up, the one mistake that could send them into the grand finals for the rematch.
Find their way to the box. Justin fighting against first killer.
Turo
up high in front of the box. Can he get back to his touch? It drops. It bounces. Taunted.
First killer.
First killer puts it in. Clutch. Captain puts one in for Rogue.
The final seconds, and who better to nail this shot than first killer? I was actually about to get so mad. Play and veteran experience at its finest.
But Justin and Garrett almost forcing the issue. Rogue got step 1 done. Now it's time for step 2.
Oh,
but
that's
Justin wins the kickoff and wins the series. NRG on to play G2 in the grand finals.
I didn't expect it at all. It comes from a kickoff goal. That's it. That's what's going to send them into the grand finals. They lose a goal in the final 4 seconds, and Justin says, you know what? I'm just going to go for the best kickoff I could possibly get and then recover from it. NRG, a solid performance all around.